Any big plans for today or anything?
Well, I play in a cover band too throughout the week. That's how I make all my money.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's KP. On the phone with me right here, it's Chris Whited from King Conquer. Chris, how you feeling today?
Great, man. How you doing?
Great. It's a new year. I just had my birthday yesterday. I just turned 21, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank you very
much.
much.
It was actually our guitar player Jesse's birthday yesterday.
Well, what do you know? What do you know? Okay, so I'm very excited to interview you. You guys are one of my favorite bands. So if I seem nervous, I kind of am. My first question is, who is King Conquer, and where are you guys from?
King Conquer right now is me on drums, James Mislow on vocals, my brother Adam Whited on bass, Derek Caperton on guitar, and Jesse Kirkbride on guitar.
Awesome. So how did you guys originally form, and how long has the band actually been around?
Well, King Conquer's been around since, we changed the band name to King Conquer around like 2008-ish. But before that, before I even picked up an instrument or anything, my brother Adam started a band when he was in high school, and he was originally the guitar player in King Conquer.
Okay.
And he was like, "Hey, man, you got to learn how to play drums because we're starting a band." And I was like 14, and I was like, "All right, fuck it, let's do it." And so yeah, that happened. Adam was the guitar player for a long time. You know, we had a bunch of just friends in high school that we started a band.
Yeah.
And it was a band called Dark Skies Have Fallen, and we thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Okay.
And then just little shit happened. Changed members, changed the band name to A Horror Story, and we actually released a couple albums and toured the U.S. under that name while we were still in high school. And then after that, we almost changed the name to Conquer, and then we're like, "Yeah, let's put King in front of it and just make it a little bit different." So that's pretty much just what happened, and then we changed all of our lyrical content to just being extremely political because that's what we were all into.
Right, and that's what you guys are known for.
And that's basically what happened. And we kind of just toured up and down the East Coast a little bit and through Florida for like a year or so before we were like, "Yeah, let's really try and do this." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically in around 2008, 2009, we really started taking shit serious. And we got James on vocals at the time, and we had this kid Tony Reed on guitar. And me and Tony were just we clicked super hard, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we wrote the EP Decomposing Normality. We wrote that in 2 weeks, and we just went and recorded it. And we're like, at the time, Media Scare Records was the shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody was on Media Scare around just before 2010. It was all of our favorite bands, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, "Yo, let's try and get signed to Media Scare." And we overnighted it to them, and literally less than 24 hours they called us back, and we were like, "What the fuck?"
That's really cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So you talked about
And
a little bit.
That's pretty much where it started.
That's awesome. That's good to know. You talked a little bit about Decomposing Normality. How many releases do you guys actually have under the name King Conquer? And can you talk briefly about them?
We have a release called Welcome to Hell that we did with a singer before James had joined the band. And that was with a singer, Jared Smith. He was with us for 4 years, and he was awesome. He's still a really good friend of ours. And that CD, we were just kids writing metal, you know what I mean? We weren't really trying to shoot for anything. It was just us having fun and just, being kids. And then once James joined the band, we heard what his vocals could do, and me and Tony were just like, holy shit, dude, we could, like, really do something. And, that's pretty much where we were.
Okay, so what happened after Welcome to Hell?
Decomposing Normality, and we released that ourselves. And when we signed to Media Scare, we told them that we wanted to keep the rights to the EP.
Okay.
So that's why we were able to do the re-release of it.
Okay, and we'll talk about the re-release a little bit later.
Okay, and then after Decomposing Normality, right when we signed to Media Scare, they basically said, hey, we want to have it full-length out in 3 months. And we were like, holy shit. so
okay.
Me and Tony, after we had, like, went and signed our contracts and everything like that, we came home, and me and Tony spent 3 weeks writing all of America's Most Haunted, which is 13 songs. We wrote it all in 3 weeks, and then went to the studio the week after that and tracked the whole record in a week.
Wow.
And then had it out.
That's impressive.
And then after that, a bunch of stuff happened. Tony quit the band because he wanted to move to California, and that was pretty much where the band just kind of, like, didn't feel the same anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The EP and America's Most Haunted, I love those two albums. Like, I feel like both those albums are best, and me and Tony just clicked so well while we were writing. And I don't know, after that, it took us a little while. It actually didn't take us that long to write 1776. 1776 was ready to be released in 2011, and it was recorded, tracked, and everything was done. And Media Scare didn't pay the studio that we recorded at for a year and a half after it was already finished.
Okay.
So, and then it didn't get put out till the end of 2013. So that right there just kind of fucked us really hard. Because that album, 1776, was ready to be released a year after America's Most Haunted came out.
Wow. Okay. So then, after that,
after
1776
came out at the end of 2013, me and James quit the band just because there was just a lot of just bad attitudes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we'd be on tour, and John Berg at the time was our main guitar player, and I don't know, it was just weird, man, just being on the road and having somebody just complain every day. Like, and I'm not the type of person that complains. I love going out and just fucking jamming, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he would just every day complain. And then there was one day we were at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. We had 2 days. 2 days we were playing at that fest. And the day we got there, he was just like, just bitching, like, oh, like, why are we playing this small venue? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? There's fucking 1,000 venues with millions of fucking bands playing right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just kept giving me this fucking attitude, dude, and just getting on me, and his mom works for the airlines, and he was like, well, it was just a huge argument, and he was like, well, I'll just fucking go home then, and I stopped the fucking van. I was like, all right, get out of the fucking van and go the fuck home.
Wow.
And then that day, we played as a 4-piece, and we played both. Actually, it's three fests in a row in 3 days that we had to play as a 4-piece, and we had never played as a 4-piece ever.
Wow. And that's at the end. That's at the end of 2013.
Yep.
Okay, so that's kind of the last time anyone really heard from you until recently. And then
exactly.
So my next question is the year after. In 2014, some controversy arose regarding your former guitar player, John Berg. And I know it's a pretty terrible situation to talk about, but I'm sure some fans would love to hear what happened. if you would care to explain.
Yeah, it's a really shitty situation because, dude, John's a great guitar player. He really is a great guitar player. He's a great musician. He's a great drummer too. And just sometimes substances will take over people. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and it sucks. And he knows that. You know what I mean? But I mean, he's gotten over it now. He went to rehab and got better. He's not, but at the time he did a lot of fucked up shit. And me and James had quit the band, so we had no control over anything anymore. And
Okay.
you know, I had always ran everything. You know what I mean? I handled talking to management, talking to labels, talking to booking agents, dealing with merch and stuff like that. And I just kept hearing all the stuff, how people were ordering merch and not getting anything and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, and I'm just I wasn't really doing anything at the time besides playing in a cover band here at home as a job, you know?
Yeah, okay.
And so I kind of looked into it more, and we found out that he had just been raping people, just getting money and not sending anything out, you know? And so I talked to Derek, and I talked to my brother, and I talked to James, and I was like, hey, you guys got to get John out of the band, you know what I mean? And me and James will come back, and we'll figure out a way to fix all this, just because, even though I wasn't in the band, I still didn't want the band put my whole entire life into to be looked at like that.
Right,
you know?
That's your reputation.
Exactly. And so, you know, we announced what had happened and a way that we could possibly fix it, you know what I mean? So basically, we told everyone that had ordered merch and not received anything to email. We had a certain email that we had set up, and we had everybody email that with a picture of proof, you know what I mean? Basically a screenshot of proof that with them talking to John and shit like that.
Okay.
And it comes down to it, there's almost $5,000
Wow.
in sales that he had never sent out. So we announced what happened. We were kind of brainstorming, and then there's this dude Nathan that works for that Chugcore company.
Yeah.
And he's super nice guy. He's just a great dude. So he started this this little fucking online campaign thing for people just to, you know, if they donate $15, they get a shirt and a CD. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we got enough donations to where we could send all those people the stuff that they ordered. We could print everything, and then every single person that had ordered something, and it was people from all around the world that had ordered stuff. And so we actually ended up raising enough money to where everyone who donated got a shirt and a CD, and everyone that got ripped off by John got a shirt and a CD. And that's why we did the re-release of Decomposed Normality, was just to give back to the people that lost money from John.
And that's a really great thing you guys did. I mean, I remember seeing those posts.
It was hard, too. It was rough.
Yeah, I'm sure. I remember seeing those posts from Chugcore, because I know a few of those guys, like Ethan and a few of the other guys. They're good guys, and that's a great way to give back to the fans and to show that, hey, we're not just taking money. We actually care for you guys. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we literally made $0 off all of that. We had $5 left over after we paid for all the shipping on everything.
I mean,
and actually Nathan flew to South Carolina where our guitar player Derek lives, and he flew there and helped Derek package up. It took a whole weekend for them to package everything up, and he flew to South Carolina, helped them package and ship everything over a weekend.
Wow. I mean, again, awesome that you guys did that, and as a fan, I appreciate that. Around that time, you guys decided to regroup and start seeing what would happen after that, right?
Yeah.
How
so
did that...
basically,
go ahead.
we did the re-release, and everyone that we sent stuff to, they were like, they were extremely grateful, and they wanted to see us tour again,
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard because James lives in Denver, Derek lives in South Carolina. I live like an hour and a half away from my brother, or me and Jesse both do. And actually, Jesse wasn't even in the band. It was just us as a 4-piece, and we hadn't played any shows in over a year. So basically, we all kind of just like Skyped and talked on the internet, and we're like, do you guys want to try and tour this summer? And everyone was like, fuck it, let's see what happens. So I contacted our booking agent that we used to have, and he was totally all for it. It's Dan DeFont at Continental Concerts US, and he's always supported us so much. He's just been the nicest dude out of anybody in the industry that we've worked with, like label management, booking wise. He's just been the most supportive, most awesome dude that we've ever worked with. And he was like, dude, let's do it. So we got a bunch of bands on the tour, and
now you're talking about the Death Take Me Home tour, right?
Yep.
That was an awesome
basically
tour.
that tour was in the works. Like we had talked about it in January, and the tour wasn't until August, September.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had lots of time to kind of plan out what we wanted to do. And basically, we all got together and we're like, we gotta at least release one new song before this tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it is rough writing a song when everyone lives in different states.
Right.
Because Derek Derek tracked guitar in South Carolina, and then he sent it to me and Jesse, and then I tracked drums once we had all the guitars here, and then we sent all of that to James in Denver, and then James tracked vocals in Denver and then sent it back, and then I did my vocal parts once he was done, and then we tracked bass. So it was just like all over the place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And luckily we got it finished. I was actually extremely happy with that song. I love the way that song came out.
Yeah, it sounds sick.
And then we have had a buddy that lives here that did music videos, and actually he lives in Texas now, and he's been doing everybody's music videos lately. This kid Taylor Bryant at Outcast Productions.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that's our buddy, man. He lived here forever, and so basically 2 days before we left on that tour, we just got together and filmed that music video, and he had it done, and the day after we filmed it.
Wow. Well, I mean, I know he's done a lot of different bands, from like Body Snatcher, Deagley, you name it, he's probably done it, and I know he does a bunch of live shows.
10 Seconds of Life, he just did that new Left Behind music video that just came out.
Yeah, I mean, they're all over the place.
All the Lost Fortune videos, yeah.
So that single you released is called Deathbed.
Yep.
Was there any certain direction you guys were trying to go with new music, or is it just...
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we're actually, we've always been a very political band, and for this EP that we're working on, it's just, we wanted to write about something that we feel 100% of people could relate to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, as you get older, one of the main things you think about is death,
Okay.
And basically that's what this EP is going to be about. This EP is going to be about just dying,
Okay. I mean, that's going to be sweet. I mean, I like Deathbed by itself. It sounds great. So a follow-up question. We've been talking about Jesse a lot, Jesse Kirkbride from Dealey Plaza and everywhere else. He's recorded everyone ever. He's a great producer. You actually work with him. How did Jesse come into being with the band? Did you guys go to record with him and then the offer came about, or what happened?
Oh, Jesse's been our friend for so long. Jesse filled in on bass for King Conquer. Like, the first tour that Jesse ever did was with us, him filling on bass when he was 19.
Wow.
Yeah, so he had never even toured before he went on the road with King Conquer, filling in on bass, because our bass player, my brother, has multiple sclerosis. So there's a lot of times where his body he just can't do it, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a good 3 or 4 tours that Jesse filled in on bass for us. And King Conquer, you know, when he was like 17, 18, we were like his favorite band. And you know, he is an awesome dude. He learns so fast. He's the nicest person, and he's just got a great creative mind when it comes to music. And he doesn't smoke weed. He doesn't drink. He's not straight edge. He doesn't, you know what I mean? He's just like a kid that is just like, he gets everything in life from music, and it's awesome.
That is awesome. I mean, I met him whenever they toured with Black Tongue through the United States. I met them in Ohio on their first date, and he was telling me about all these different things I could do with my Pod HD Pro X and all this stuff. And I was like, Jesse, I don't know all this stuff yet, but yeah,
if he hears something that he can make sound better, he'll make it sound better for the person. You know what I mean? It's
right. Awesome. Yeah, Jesse's the man. What can fans expect in 2016?
Well, right now we are just, you know, we're trying to get this new EP done and get it released, and we're hoping that it's going to be a lot different, but extremely awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to try and make it not as death metal, but keep it extremely death metal.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, I don't know, a gloomier version of King Conquer.
Okay. What about tours or anything like that?
We don't have any tours lined up at the moment. We're just trying to finish this EP as of now, and you know, if tours come along, then you know, we'll do them. But we're just right now, that's not our main focus right now. It's just mainly because everybody lives in different states, so it's hard, you know.
Right, I understand. Okay, Chris, is there any last things you want to say to your fans while we're here?
Just thank you for being awesome and always being there. And that last tour we did was amazing. You know, it was the best tour we'd ever done. It was so good, and we just, you know, want to thank everybody for being awesome and still coming out, you know.
Yeah, cool. So this is Chris Whitehead from King Conquer. I'll be having a part 2 interview with him talking about his other band, Lost Fortune, in a little bit. So, Chris, thank you again. I'll talk to you here in a little bit.
Awesome.
Can you feel the absence of God's presence now on your deathbed?
Hey guys, if you couldn't tell, I was a little bit nervous talking to Chris there because he's in King Conquer and it's one of my favorite bands. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead and take a second and just like the video. And if you want more interviews in the future, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thanks.